Hi TechTalk viewers, this is TheChanClan and we are demonstrating and reviewing the latest LG 32UK580-B monitor. This is a 2022 new model that demonstrates and features 4K and HDR outputs. This is an IPS panel with a 60 Hz refresh with FreeSync capabilities. This is a step down from its higher priced cousin, the 880, as well as the ultrafine 950 that we've previously reviewed. By trading off some features, this monitor allows for a cheaper price point as it retails for $499 MSRP. So this monitor, this is just on normal settings right now, features a 1000:1 contrast ratio as well as a 98% sRGB color gamut. So it uses the same panels that LG has been using and widely known for high color saturation and great blacks, as you can see here. Viewing angles to 178 degrees. The current model, the 580, strips out some additional ports. This model only has 2 HDMI ports and 1 DVI port. There is no USB-C connectivity. But where it lacks in ports, it makes up a little bit in its ergonomic stand. Now this Ergo Stand is kind of cool. It articulates and is able to rotate out. Has a pivoting head here that allows you to angle your monitor, and it also has a weight-bearing kind of fulcrum here, or lever here, that you can actually adjust the tension to this that allows the monitor to be repositioned. Cool thing about the stand is it actually has a built-in storage. The top of this pops off. You actually have the Allen wrench as well as the Phillips head screwdriver that lives in there that you can use to tighten the tension on the stand itself. This is easily a $100 stand that sold separately or generically. Features options including cable management, which this can run down through the stand and out the bottom. This C-clamp does require you to have a table that is available to fit or a cutout that it can tunnel through. That can be a limitation on some tables with a back. As you see, the base does require a couple of inches of clearance, and the C-clamp goes down toward the bottom of the desk. Kind of dive under here to demonstrate this. So it's a tension-based kind of suction cup that is mounted there and hand screwed. The whole setup here is tool-free otherwise. This is a VESA mount with a back that just clips on, and everything else other than the tension adjustment is tool-free. So looking in the back, we have 1 display port and 2 HDMI ports. This does not feature any USB-C or Thunderbolt connectivity. There is a power cable and also a headphone port out for if you are listening to audio. This does have built-in speakers that are 5 watts like its other cousins of the 880 line, and that is passed through HDMI and your primary connection, so no additional inputs are needed. The great thing about the Ergo Stand is it allows you to have a relatively clutter-free workspace as it frees up your desk space to have your wireless keyboard and mouse sit comfortably under there without any presence of cords or clutter. One feature I wish this monitor had was USB ports. This does not have any connectivity to USB, so you cannot attach any peripherals to this monitor, unfortunately. Otherwise, the viewing angles for this monitor are pretty good. Can be viewed up to 178 degrees as spec'd. Color uniformity is also very good without any obvious banding. So one nice thing about this Ergo Stand is it allows you, despite its 32-inch size, to pivot your monitor for vertical use. So this rotates seamlessly into vertical portrait mode, and this would allow you to use this in a large vertical format. And the Ergo Stand accommodates this really well. You can switch to portrait mode by just going to your display settings, hitting rotate display, and here you go. Now we have a huge setup for us to use in a vertical orientation. But the advantage of this monitor is probably not to use it in a long vertical view, but to go back to horizontal so that you can open up multiple full screen videos and applications side by side. So let's take a look at how that performs. So perhaps where this monitor shines the most is its abundant 32-inch screen at 4K resolution. Most monitors, because they're small area, require you to upscale the size of your fonts, but this is at 100% native resolution and allows you immense workspace where we got Word on the left here to write your documents, Excel down here on the bottom to crunch your numbers, all watching YouTube in another channel. So you can see you can comfortably snap multiple windows. LG also offers a picture-in-picture option where using their software you can actually combine multiple inputs such as an Xbox or a console to be played on the screen at the same time. So one of the features of this monitor is that it does support HDR10. Now HDR has a whole bunch of problems on Windows PCs, basically because people don't use this appropriately. Now if you go to your Windows settings and turn HDR on, you're going to see that the colors have washed out dramatically. Now, even manufacturers have to come up with frequently asked questions that this is performing as intended. Yes, your screen, your background, your desktop looks terrible. However, the cool thing is that HDR video, as we jump onto YouTube here and take a look at some promotional imagery from LG, is vivid and looks spectacular. I wish that Windows integrates this auto switching a lot better like TVs do, but HDR does work only for HDR content. Standard definition content appears washed out and does not look well, and you will have to toggle your HDR settings on and off just to appreciate these stellar colors. Now with HDR, this does have the lowest brightness of LG's monitors. This has a 300 nit display, whereas the 880 series is a 350 nit panel and the 950 series, as previously reviewed by us, is a 450 nit panel. Nevertheless, blacks are dark and the lights in the HDR setting, when used correctly, do demonstrate great vivid colors, as you can see here in this demonstration. And even without HDR, let's take a look at some of my pictures that I've used for photography. They look stellar in color as well. So we're going to turn off HDR by toggling HDR off, and you're going to see how our background images and colors look better again, while the HDR video playing here fades a little bit. But no worries, let's take a look at some of our photos. This monitor boasts 98% of sRGB, so we do have vivid colors even at standard definition. And you can see some of my photos here as we scroll through them are very detailed and sharp. These are large images, and you can see the sharpness of this monitor captures even the slightest details, especially in its large 4K format. You're able to see a lot of the details of my panoramic photography here. Check out my photos. You can check out my photos at 500 pics. We'll leave the description below, but you can see how well this monitor does render these images. Here's another one that you can see the details and the sharpness of this monitor allow you to appreciate the colors and the sharpness of these photos. And another one here is out at Hana in Maui, where this was a high dynamic range photo, but not in HDR. This is still in standard definition, but again, allows you to appreciate the color reproduction of this monitor as well as the sharpness. Yet another photo here, appreciating a lot of the vivid and saturated colors. And this is just using the calibration from factory settings right out of the box. Another one of my favorites with a lot of color and saturated. Here's another one of my favorites with a lot of colors and hues, demonstrating the saturation, sharpness, and clarity of this monitor. Now this monitor can be used for gaming. It does support AMD's FreeSync, but it is limited to only 60 Hertz. Nevertheless, at $500, this is a bargain compared to the $1,200 950s that we got just 4 years ago. Overall, we highly recommend LG's latest 32-inch monitor, the 32UK580-B. This monitor boasts great colors, great viewing angles, an IPS screen, 60 Hz refresh, as well as built-in speakers and an ergonomic stand. Lacking are its higher connectivity ports of USB-C. However, this is more than made up for in its lower sticker price with MSRP at $499. Thanks for watching our demonstration and review of LG's 32-inch UK580B monitor.